2017 is almost over, and when I look in the mirror, I'm 53 and a half years old, I see issues. And of course, I think we're all a little harder on ourselves than what the public sees, but these things bother me. I am just like any other person. I'm a teacher and I'm around hundreds of people a day. And so I don't want to look 18. I just want to look the best 53 and a half that I can look. You know, life wasn't perfect when I was 18 either. I really struggled with acne, and so I just have different issues now than I had back then. And I really am so much happier now at my age than I was at 18, and so much more satisfied with life. But I do want to look my best. So all year I have been out looking for products that will solve the things that bother me. And I know the things that bother me probably bother most women that are my age. So today I'm going to share with you my top 10 products that I have found this year that are really helping me with the things that are bothering me. Make sure to stay to the end because the last product is going to be my number one for 2017, my number one problem solver. But let's start with number 10. And the name of the product is Hard Candy Sheer Envy Stick It to Pores. I like that, stick it to pores. And it really does. One of my problems I deal with is enlarged pores. At my age, after having acne for over 20 years, these pores in here are stretched out, and I really need something that sort of fills them in and keeps my makeup looking smooth all day. I'm also dealing, still at my age, with oily skin in the T-zone. So by the end of the day, this is the area here where my makeup melts off. This product is great for that. It's so easy to use. It's just in a stick format. I rub it over that area and sort of push it in with my finger and I'm good to go. And it makes my makeup last all day. My number 9 problem solver is from NYX. It's their full coverage concealer. I have a real problem with broken capillaries around the sides of my nose. I've thought about having them lasered, but if you have a weakness in that area, they tend to come back. I did my legs, they looked great, and a couple years later, all those veins were back. So instead of going and having a procedure done, I just put on the concealer during the day. It's much easier. And so it's a thicker concealer, which makes it last longer around that area. I love this one from NYX. I wouldn't use it in my under eye area because it's too thick, but for around the nose, it's just perfect. My number 8 is from Revlon. It's their Colorstay Exactify. This is liquid liner. The problem that I have is because my eyes are so deep set, it is very hard now at my age to get in these corners. And also to keep my hands steady so that I get a beautiful line. It seems to be a little more difficult than it used to be. So with this actually has a little wheel on it. And I just lay it. Actually, what I do is I start in the middle of my eye, find as close to the lash line as I can get, and then I wheel across. Another thing is you can get a nice little wing, a little flick with this, and it makes a beautiful thin line. I've never been able to do a great wing with most eyeliners, but with this I can do it. I also like that it stays all day. I still am oily in the under eye area during the day, and some of the liners I've used have made my eyes, I look like a raccoon at the end of the day, but with this, it just stays on beautifully. My number 7 is also from NYX. It's their lip primer, and this is in Deep Nude. Now, the reason I use this as a problem solver, it's to stop the lipstick from bleeding. I never had lip lines till about this last year. I never smoked in my life. I don't use a straw that often, but for some reason, I am starting to get little thin lines around my lips. And it's very irritating when you like to wear bright lipstick, or if you're wearing red, say, any time of the year, but especially during the holidays. So I thought I need to get a barrier, something that will keep it from slipping. Well, not only is this great to put on your lips so your lips look smoother and your lipstick stays on better, but this, in the deep nude, I just go around the outside of my lips and it makes a thicker line. Most of the lip liners that are made to keep your lipstick from bleeding, like the clear ones, are very thin and pointed. This is thick, and that actually works to your advantage. So I just go all the way around my lips and just blend it out. And even though it says deep nude, it's really not deep. And it keeps the lipstick from bleeding and keeps my lipstick looking nice. My number 6 is from Wet n Wild. It is their Lash-o-Matic extension kit. My problem is my lashes are not long and they're thin. It just happens as we age, our lashes aren't always as great as they were when we were younger. I have tried about every mascara at the drugstore and it just does, none of them have given me any length. They have made my lashes thicker, but sometimes when they're thicker on me, I feel like it makes them look shorter. But with this, the fibers hold on to the edge of the lash, so when you go over it with the mascara, it gives you extra length. And that millimeter or two that you get really makes a difference. It's incredible. This is so inexpensive. I believe I paid $7.99 at Walgreens for this. And this is the only store I've ever seen it at, is Walgreens. And I always go back to it. I try new ones that come out on the market. They always disappoint me. And this one never does. Number 5 goes to the Elizabeth Arden Advanced Eye Fix Primer. The reason this is a problem solver for me is my eyelids are more crepey now than they used to be. This is such a smooth primer. I happened upon it at Marshall's for $5.99. Incredible. I love it too because it covers any of the purpley tones that I have in my eyelids and really makes the shadows last all day. Also, I love wearing this alone. The shade is just beautiful and covers up any discoloration that you have on your eyes. My number 4 product is from Roche-Posay and it's their Effaclar BB Blur. I hope I'm saying that right. This is an amazing product. A problem I found was that I was aging my skin with my foundation. My skin, by putting on some of these heavier foundations I was using the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which I've always loved, some of my favorite drugstore foundations. This year, I just looked in the mirror and thought, they're making me look older than I look when I don't have foundation on. So I need to go with something thinner and something that will just even out my skin tone. I love this. It has sunscreen in it, so it's sort of one-stop shopping, and it really makes my skin look smooth. My number 3 is the 100% pure coffee bean caffeine eye cream. The reason it's my number 3 is because one of my biggest problems is my under eye area. That was the first place on my face that showed the signs of aging, was my under eyes. Right around in my early 40s, I started to notice changes. Now at my age, even more changes. The skin is starting to droop a little bit under my eyes, which makes a little fold. And when I wake up in the morning, my eyes are puffier than they used to be. And some of that has to do with if I've had too much salt, which I don't eat much of, maybe the way I'm sleeping, allergies, all those things combined cause a problem. This has been the one eye cream where I put it on and go, I can see a difference. I really can. It's so inexpensive too, which is great. It's not one of these $100 eye creams. I originally got it from Octoly, but now I'm buying it on my own and I love it. It's great and I wouldn't want to be without it. Number 2 is Parlo Cosmetics Set On Smooth Setting Powder in Satin. I have never been able to use a powder in my under eye area. This has been the first, and that's my biggest problem area. I just spoke about that. So what I do with this powder is I just take it, I do finger powdering. I take my finger and tap it into the under eye area. It keeps the concealer in place. It keeps the eyeliner from traveling, especially if I'm wearing a cream liner. It just is perfect. I never want to be without this product. It's made such a difference. I do use it all over my face. I press it in, especially around the nose area, but the area where I go, wow, this makes the biggest difference is in the under eyes. My number one problem solver is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. This solves my biggest problem, which is brightening that under eye area without getting into any of the lines, and I've got plenty of them. This lasts all day, and not only does it bring glow to the under eye, I use this right on the cheekbone as a highlighter. So it saves you having that product, and it's much more natural looking than any of the highlighters out there. Some of these that beam me up, Scotty, kind of highlighters are great for going out in the evening, but I can't wear that kind of stuff to school. So this is just the perfect amount to give a nice, beautiful glow to my skin. These are my top 10 for 2017. They have helped me with some of the things I'm working on, my problems. I hope they help you and that you'll enjoy these products. I am also hoping you'll subscribe. I have some fantastic videos planned for 2018. To those of you that are my subscribers, I love all of you, and I thank you so much for all of your love and support this year. I can't say that enough. You're just the best. Have a great week.